Hi, I'm Heidi Cundon from Happiness is Homemade, and today I'm going to show you how you can easily convert an Epson EcoTank printer into a sublimation printer using Hiipoo ink. So, first of all, what is sublimation? Sublimation is a process in which a substance goes directly from a solid state to a gas state, completely skipping the liquid state entirely. So what does that mean in terms of crafting? It means that special sublimation inks like this Hiipoo ink here can be printed in its solid state, and then with the application of heat, it'll move directly into a gaseous state where it's able to permanently bond with polyester-coated substrates. So, in plain English, that means that you'll be able to print from this EcoTank printer using Hiipoo sublimation ink and take those images, whether that's artwork you've created or photos that you've taken, and permanently transfer them to things like mugs and shirts using heat and pressure. If you've ever purchased photo gifts for your relatives for the holidays, things like ornaments, mouse pads, tumblers, blankets, phone cases, mugs and t-shirts like I previously mentioned, all of those are created using sublimation. And now, with this printer and this ink, you'll be able to easily and less expensively create those same types of projects at home. In fact, you could even start your own business. Sublimation is one of the easiest at-home crafting businesses to get started, and now, with these supplies, it's even easier and less expensive than ever. So, now that you know a little bit about what sublimation is and what you can do with it, let's start converting this printer. The printer comes with 4 bottles of Epson ink, but we're not going to be using those. If you don't have another printer that uses this type of ink, you can always sell it or donate it to somebody else who can use it. The printer that I'm using is an Epson EcoTank 4760, and I'll be using this Hiipoo sublimation ink kit. Once you put the ink into the printer, you're going to want to refill it using the same brand of ink that you originally filled the tanks with. Not all sublimation inks are the same, so if you combine different inks in the tank, it may end up not working properly. I'm choosing to use the Hiipoo ink because it's a high quality ink. It has a really great reputation for being super reliable, producing consistent results, and producing really vivid and crisp colors. Plus, it's at the same price point as some of the other inks that maybe aren't as great, so it's really an excellent choice. Especially if you're planning on selling items that you make with your sublimation printer, it's really extra important that you choose a high quality ink so that you can produce high quality products. One important thing to note is that you should always start with a brand new EcoTank printer that has never been filled with ink before. So, the EcoTank printer here opens up like this, and then you're going to want to flip this little lever here to release and open the ink tank lid. And then each one of these, you'll see the different tanks. They have different colored lids here. There's a black, a cyan, a magenta, and a yellow. The Hiipoo sublimation kit comes with 4 different colors of ink in the same cyan, yellow, magenta, and black colors as the printer tanks. It also comes with 4 syringes for transferring the ink and a pair of disposable gloves. You'll want to place the blunt needle tips securely onto the plastic syringes, and then the needle tip will be able to fit into the ink tanks to fill it. Just a note, when you insert the needle into the tank, it won't go all the way in, so don't worry if it doesn't. To start transferring the ink, insert the needle into the bottle of the sublimation ink, creating a tight seal between the needle and the bottle. You want to be able to suck up the ink without getting any air into the syringe, so turn the bottle on its side, or even upside down as the ink levels start to get lower, and then gently pull back on the plunger to fill the syringe with ink. Place the needle into the ink tank of the printer and slowly depress the plunger to release the ink into the tank. Continue adding ink until the ink level in the tank reaches the top line. Then, repeat the process for the other colors. Power on the printer and follow the prompts on the screen to walk you through the setup and alignment process. Then, use the instructions that came with the printer to connect the printer to your computer. Now, it's time to make our first project. Open up the image in your favorite photo editing software, I'm using Photoshop, and print out the image. I'm using A-Sub sublimation paper, so I need to make sure that the paper setting is set for premium presentation paper matte, and that the image is set to print in mirrored format. You always want to mirror your prints when working with sublimation. You'll notice that the printed image is a lot duller and more muted than it was on the computer screen. Don't worry, it's supposed to look that way. Once we apply the heat and pressure to it, the colors of the sublimation ink will become a lot more vibrant. I'm going to be using this image along with my Easy Press to create a customized jigsaw puzzle. First, use a lint-free cloth to wipe off any dust or debris from the surface of the puzzle. I'm going to take my printed design and place it with the ink side up, and then I'm going to take my sublimation puzzle and place it face down on top of the print. I'm using heat-resistant tape to hold the design in place. I place a heat-resistant mat on my work surface. This one here is made especially for sublimation so it can withstand the high temperatures. Then, I'm going to cover the mat with a piece of butcher paper so that none of the sublimation ink accidentally transfers to the mat. And now, I'm going to flip both pieces over and place them on the mat. The sublimation ink can seep through the backside of the paper when I'm pressing it, so I'm using 2 sheets of butcher paper on top of my project to protect my easy press from any of that ink. Set the temperature to 400 degrees and 90 seconds, and press the puzzle with medium pressure. Allow the project to cool, and then remove the paper. Look at how much brighter and more vivid the colors are now. This puzzle is awesome, and it's just one of the many, many amazing things that you can make with your new sublimation printer. We have lots more videos coming up, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Happy crafting!